Hello, and welcome to another episode of Vintage Magazine Monday, September 1958. Ian Rod and Customs, Performance Through Carburation, Humorous Kohler, and the Custom Cats. Stay tuned and let me know what kind of custom cat you are from the list. Great looking Model A on the cover. And we have a Coupe Pictorial Special, a load of coupes inside. Competition cars and street machines, show cars, fender ideas, body restoration, and some taillight tips. We got some Chevrolet Shenanigans and a lot more to check out this week. We got a little pro football for 1958. We got our Rod and Custom table of contents. And we got the Coupe Pictorial, the Chevy Shenanigans, Custom Cats, and a few other little special interest features. Got the starting line again, talking about entering shows only if you get a trophy first. New and improved fuel injectors, Scott Engineering. Service center, motor mounts, clutch sets, engine adapters, lots of goodies. Automart, Seal-O-Matic, got some flywheels, fiberglass, do-yourself, stick shift hydromatic valve body. Our reader's rights. Guess we'll read that. Again, talking about the no trophy, no show. Cutaway. Going along here, we're getting into that Coupe's Pictorial. Lots of cool coupes to check out. The swing of the coupe body style as bait for high-performing hot rod material began not specifically when the ever-loving roadster bodies were becoming few and far between, but probably when Eastern and Midwestern enthusiasts found that an open cockpit street machine was either useless during inclement weather or caused considerable discomfort. Along about the time Westerners were discovering, to their utter dismay, that junkyards and salvage yards no longer abound with roadsters as they had earlier. The demand out west, at least, had finally exceeded the supply, and so the coupe became tops on the list of the most wanted bodies almost overnight. Newfound problems accompanied the widespread introduction of the coupes into the routing circles. As an unaerodynamic as a body as it existed, the models were cut, torched, shrunk, and otherwise mangled in a feverish attempt to get dry lakes and drag strip times up where the open-top cars continued to excel. This led to development of heftier engines, among other things, and where top chopping on a roadster consumed, say, most of a Saturday morning, hacking down a coupe made metal men out of mechanics and slowed the production of quality racing rods. Today, the coupe far exceeds even the peak of popularity the roadster once enjoyed, and the supply of body hasn't reached dangerously low proportions yet. Not anyway. So a banquet to lovers of the delightful little 3- and 5-window models that Ford built. And if you do not yet number yourself among proponents of the snug coupe, leaf through the following pages. It's an even bet that you'll soon join the ranks. I definitely enjoy and prefer the coupe over a roadster. Got one running assaults, a couple of nice street and show machines. Even getting way down low in the 50s. 32s, 30s, 34s, all good stuff. And we got a featured one, again our cover car, kind of that coppery red color. Interior of Gil Granucci's coupe is handsomely outfitted with door panels of Naugahyde, pleated seats, and white-edged floor mat of black. Dashboard is fitted with Stuart Warner instruments, recessed into a ham-formed panel of solid mahogany. Floor shift transmission is used, then properly installed column. Over here, atop opposite page, Leah Ella Baker smiles as she waves from beside Granucci's fabulous show-winning 31A 5-window. Ella, cover girl for this month's issue, stands a head taller than the channeled rod. The finally restored 31 was a labor of true love, owner Gil putting thousands of hours into restoration of the once battered body. Cycle-type fenders up front are bracketed to brake backing plates, and thus ride and steer with the wheels. Rear fenders, though, are bolted in stock positions. Extreme bobbing of stock fenders aft disguises their origin as stock units. Beautifully chromed headers drop to clear door as they are channeled into mufflers. Close-up shot of the engine reveals extent of chroming. Mill is a 286 Merc, fully loaded. Modifications include pot fin cam, Silverlight pistons with granite rings, Edelbrock heads, and manifold mounting 397 carbs. Pretty sharp looking Model A. A little bit more here. There's bob fenders, tail shot. Nice head-on look. Even looks great with a fully louvered hood. Absolute treat of a hot rod. I look under the hood. Length induced 5 window. Raj Nettles 5 windows. Most outstanding feature is the 7 inches added to its length. The body was moved aft 5 inches on the frame. Then the deuce shell went ahead 2 more. The 7-inch difference needed in the hood length was simple. A 34 Plymouth hood fit the contours of the cowl and the shell. Then the bigger engine compartment was dutifully filled with an Olds V8 coupled to a 39 Ford floor shift box. Because of the channeling job, a wider 47 Ford rear end was substituted to give the wheels clearance. Roger spent in all a solid 14 months on the 2,800-pound project, which when he had finished what he set out to do, had it painted in ebony black. Definitely gives a unique look to it. Stretching that out, a little more kind of luxurious looking, a little classier look. Ebony 33 window. Leonard Heads 33 nabbed the Louisiana B-Gas record at the Easterwood Strip with a 98.36 speed and an ET of 13.7 seconds. The 30-year-old mechanic has built a succession of rods over the past 10 years, but his flathead-powered cutie tops them all. The 59A with 306-inch cubes has a Clay-Smith cam, Edelbrock heads, pistons, and manifold. Block is ported in relief and spins a 12-pound Albro flywheel. A Kong ignition provides the fire. Transmission is a Zephyr. Running gear is primarily 33 Ford with a 40 Ford rear end. Moon disc cover Merc wheels. A cobalt blue lacquer job covers the body carefully, restored to near perfection. The car was bought from the original owner, who had about 41,000 miles on it. A lot of miles back then. Nice clean look. Chopped 5 window. Miles Brown worked up his 5 window through a channeled 33 Ford Coupe, followed by a Cadillac engined Hudson. Cadillac engined Hudson. Chopped coupe represents about $1,300 the way it sits, most of which was earned by the owner working after school and weekends as a grocery clerk in Dallas, Texas. The hardest job was finding a reputable body man to perform the top chop of 4 inches. Mill is 53 Dodge with 259 cubic inches, built so coupe could run C-gas class, though it has not yet been run. Modifications include conversion to Iscadarian equipment, jams, pistons. Heads are stock with polished imports, while 497 carbs atop a Y-end intake manifold. Exhaust system is by Carl Stone of Dallas, Texas. And there's a Henny Mill. There's a classic, good-looking 5-window, perfect rake. We got Chevy powered for a deuce. Let's see, we'll give you this picture. Bob Huddleston and Henry Fake of Arlington Auto Club, North Texas Timing Association put this neat 3-window together from an original condition 32 that had about 39,000 actual miles on it, thus relieved of the usual body restoration chore that is needed on a car of this age. All effort was put into the chassis modifications and engine, a 55 Chevy V8, Hogged out to 283 cubic inches, contains a racer brown cam and lifters, Edelbrock manifold, mounting Stromberg 94s, JE pistons with granite rings. Chevy engine in car at time of these photos was the stock 265 mil. A 538-to-1 rear end ratio twists up a pair of Inglewood slicks and thus equipped the bomb turned on for a drag speed of 109.08 with an ET of 13.2. Equipped now for the street with a full load of Naugahyde upholstery, moon discs, white walls, and other niceties, the Deuce has grabbed first place at 2 Texas car shows. The co-owners have reason to be proud of the car they built to wind up their first 10 years hot rod circles. And there's a look at that. Stock 265. Huddleston and fake. Cycle fenders. The wheel covering problem got you down. The answer may lie in cycle fenders. Nice mounting brackets. Chrome mounts. Even for the rear. A little fancier bracket there. Moving along, we got a flight swept Ford. Dick of Oakland, California is the owner of this beautifully restyled 50 Ford Coupe. It features raised and canted rear fender fins, which completely transforms the rear end appearance into modern lines. Twin taillights molded and sculpted into each rear fender enhance the detailing. Side exhaust, rear fender air scoops with teeth, a simplified and Frenched-in grill shell with a curved vertical grill. All go to modernize the car. The interior has been completely done over in luxurious Naugahyde. Two-toning emphasizes various sculpted area, giving car character worthy of any car show or just plain street admiration. Check out the fins, double taillights. Definitely makes it stand out. Sculpted in glass, modernizing a 54 Chevy. Using glass on the fenders for the quad look. Smoothing out some emblems, peeking the hood. All very basics to the start of a great custom. Rather than see a rolled over Merc go to waste, this customizer salvaged what he could and wound up with a handsome half-ton Mercury Ranchero. Spare under the load floor. Not a bad looking unit. Chevy Shenanigans. It hasn't been such an awfully long time since the favorite car of the customizer was a Ford product, but GM changed all that the night the 55 Chevys were introduced. Now walking into practically any body shop in the country and the place is full of Chevys. Grills, taillights, and side trim lend themselves to an unending variety of practical changes, and enthusiasts availing themselves of any of the many models available at used car lots are quick to roll into a chop and channel emporium with orders for anything from a simple chrome strip swap to the works. No, this isn't simply a 56 with 57 trim, it's a 55. Entire rear quarter panels were replaced with the year later components, for owner wanted not only the longer panels and larger taillights, but sweep type wheel cutouts. Rear bumper is a 56 too. Just combining them all. Down here we got the trim lines of the Nomad wagon are enhanced through substitution of 56 Buick taillights. Thus, customizing has moved from passenger cars only onto the models presented in manufacturer's lineup, even the lowly panel trucks. Chevy under the torch, a 56 Chrysler taillights. got slight upsweep of the rear fenders was needed before these taillights were added. Slope was begun just after the rear window. Seldom seen light unit emanated from a 57 Nash, installed here in an upside down position, placing backup lens towards the top. Sweep spear bubble skirts on a convertible make a car look even lower than it actually is. Effect is followed through by the use of exposed exhaust. Handleless doors create long look, while jet black lacquer shows owner's faith in ultra smooth bodywork. Rather than settle for a stock grille with some bars removed, the owner resorted to a cut-down 58 Chevy grille to liven up the frontal appearance of his hardtop. Chrome framework around the grille opening remains stock. Hood is ornament relieved. A few simple alterations can change even the most docile hardtop into an eye-catcher. Mildly dropped Bel Air has lost door handles, nameplates, while taillights have given way to units from a Packard. Small scallop lines were added around head and taillight openings. And down here we got proponents of the Hardy pickup will be glad to see that passenger car parts can be adapted to their haulers through a little customizing magic. These fenders were extended rearward to end of bed. Protection is via passenger car bumper with gravel pan. A few more. Again, doing some 56 Packard taillights. Always a great choice. Upper lenses from 56 Buick taillights have been cut down, then heated by submersing in warm water and slightly reshaped to fit the stock 55 frames. Deck lid has been relieved of gewgaws? I don't know. Deeply dropped 56 is ultimate in clean lines, yet little modification work has been performed. Biggest change is extension of fenders, so stock taillights seem housed in extremely deep recesses. Very subtle, but nice touch. Grille frame was French to front of the 55 and 5 square 2 bars mounted for a unique grille effect. Vertical bumper guard removed creates a wider lower look. Most modern ornamentation has been stripped from this clean Chevy example. Carbureting for performance. The first in a series of articles designed to teach you some of the forgotten basics behind improving engine performance. Even back then they were forgetting how to tune carburetors. Metered fuel checkout revisited. Again, the Scott fuel injectors. Custom cats. Which custom cat are you? We got the Butcher. This boy really the backbone of the field, whether professional or amateur. His flair for fiendish talent for assaulting metal with torch and saw has basically made the customized car what it is today. There are those who critically insist this type would have never developed had not the automobile been invented, but it is agreed in most analytical circles that if there were no such thing as cars, this boy would be busily lowering buckboards and degoing steam locomotives. The fattest, the delight of novelty manufacturers, since he keeps a sharp eye open for the latest gizmos and gimmicks, which he immediately hangs, mounts, tacks, or staples inside his car. Snap-on equipment gives him the same emotional lift the other guys get from going with girls, collecting gold, and lesser activities. Got the Millhead. This one lives in his own private little world of 3/4 cam talk, juiced up engines, astonishingly detailed mechanical theory, and a welter of automotive tools dating back to a special set of end wrenches that were issued with each model of the 1903 Rio. His passion for repairing mechanical things often keeps him so busy doing constructive jobs on his friends' Kemps that he seldom has the time to drive his own car. We got the Dabbler. Subscribes finally to the thought that a custom car is only as good as its paint job. spends long hours diligently mixing various enamels and chemical compounds in hopes that ultimately he will discover a paint so advanced, so effective as to assure him a niche in posterity's heart. His crowning achievement so far was a lusty enamel which automatically changed color with each season, but unfortunately corroded the metal beneath to rust within a year's time. Joiner. This particular type is the epitome of fraternal brotherhood with wheels. Refuses to drive anywhere unless he can reassure by the sight of 3 or 4 club members in the rearview mirror. Thinks everybody should belong to a couple of car clubs and advocates putting even pedestrians into definite groups with walking rules. He sleeps in his club jacket and bows his head whenever NHRA is mentioned. The futurist isn't quite as interested in his car's body lines or its engine goodies as he is in the amount of electronic improvement he can add. Usually has solenoid switches and relays built in from panel to panel, bumper to bumper, and dreams of someday designing an electronic computer system which can be adapted onto the steering system set for Hollywood Freeway, and thus allow him to climb into the back seat to enjoy the color TV, the ham radio set, the electrical coffee machine, the hi-fi system, all installed back there. His friends, both of them, refer to his car as the 3-ring circuits. You have to let me know which one of those you guys are in the comments below. And of course, J.C. Whitney. In the last couple pages here, we got the Aaron C. Stop and let you check out that comic. Of course, featuring a coupe to go with the issue of the month. And there we are at the end. Back pressure for those that like to read it. Pause, read. And there you have it for September 1958. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.